Thanks for joining me today in this Kickstarter preview of Barpig, The Great Festival. I've been playing this game since it was initially called Barpig. If you haven't seen any of our videos about it, you can check them out. I have links to all of them down below. But this is a game all about tomfoolery, pigs, and puns. Your goal here is to level up your character until they hit 5, which means they've won. To do so, all you need to do is win the die roll. At the start of each round, you're going to roll a die, and the player who rolls the highest wins that round and therefore gains a level. To keep things a bit fair, whoever won a level in the last round is not allowed to roll the next one. But that is not where the fun of this game comes in. It's going to come in what happens after the die roll. You see, each player will have a character with a special power. Whoever wins the roll has their power activated. There are a wide variety of powers that can include things as people playing charades, trying to find random objects, or even just trying to mess with each other. The powers will usually have people either losing drink or sober points, and that could include whoever's powers activated as well. Sober points are we're going to have to be more worried about. It's pretty much you getting very drunk. If you black out, you're going to restart level 1 and get a new character. Drinks, on the other hand, are used after the powers are activated in the market phase. That's how you gain item cards. These items have a wide variety of powers. They could alter dice rolls, mess with other players' stats. Well, some of them, like this card, will trigger right away, which usually involve people being forced to change their character. During this phase, you can either discard a card to get that many value of drinks, in essence, more to spend it later on, or add a card to your hand and spend that many drinks in order to keep it. And that is a quick overview of the base rules of the game. The expansions, for the most part, just add more silly things to do. It's not like you have a crazy new mechanic, so it's very easy to just slap these together if you want to play with the base or the after hours with this new expansion. So obviously there are plenty of fun new character cards for you to mess with in order to try out new things. In particular, I will say of the new cards, I'm a fan of the branded, in which you sort of do a quick draw with cards trying to hit other people with an item card, and the traveling alesman, which will have people grab random objects around the room and try to sell them to the rest of the table. There are also plenty of new items for you to mess around with, though weirdly enough, my favorite one was the everybody out card. In the previous games, there was a card that forced the player who drew it to change character cards. This one forces the entire table to change. I really like this because 1, it means everyone gets to see a whole new power, and 2, when you throw in more sets together, it's nice to have a quicker way to shuffle through and see more cards. Because you throw more sets together, that means it's harder for certain character cards to show up, meaning that this is a quick way for more variety to occur and maybe see some of those old favorites. Though if there's a particular character you like, I do enjoy the premeditated proxy of pigception, not just because of the name, but this allows you to search and specifically give someone a certain character card if you really think a certain power would be perfect at the table. Speaking of which, the item I just talked about is part of the stretch goals along with the Sakurai, beautiful name, and the coffee, which brings you back to -1 sober points. Some really nice strong cards that hopefully will have their goals meet so you have the chance to mess around with these cards like I did. Now, I will say the quality of the game is probably pretty close to what already a final version would be, comparing it to the previous base and expansion, but this is still a preview. You never know what happens in the Kickstarter. Certain stretch goals can be met, certain things added. If you've ever backed a project before, you know sometimes they even may up quality of certain products. So do keep that in mind that this is still a prototype. Now, in terms of the actual abilities, though, I will say this one feels like when the previous set just felt like adding more. That's why we liked more of the characters, so you had more variety there. This one seems to understand that they're starting to hit that point where they could become too clogged. So we're starting to see more cards that find ways for the specific character like I brought up before. I forgot to mention another card I really liked was called the mixed up drink order, because what it does is you target a player, they discard their entire hand of items, getting new ones, meaning if you mix up the items, there's going to be more variety there, drawing more cards, and it's a great way to either A, mess around with your opponent, or B, give yourself some new items if you didn't like them. I felt like that set had more of those, so because of that, I actually feel like the item deck here is the real star. Nothing against the characters there, and like I said, the branded I really enjoyed. It was just really hilarious when people took their sort of Western poses with their card before they fired, and that would tend to happen sometimes, which would be hilarious. But in the end, that's the core of this game. It's silly, it's fun, and it's not adding new keywords, but this one does a great job if you own the previous sets. if you ever feel guilty that because you've added too many expansions together, this one's designed to try and shuffle those up so you do see more characters, more items, and more chaos ensue. You can check out the Kickstarter right now. If you want to learn more, I have links to the previous videos we've done on Barpig, including the recent playthrough of this new expansion. You should definitely go check out that one if you want to see more how this game plays. And let me know if you've backed this before, if this is the first time with Barpig. You can let me know your thoughts and your story experiences in the comments down below. But I'm Will, and this has been a Roll for Crit preview.